Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. Governor Jared Polis has ended the statewide health emergency tied to COVID-19.
That means, thankfully, finally getting rid of the health-related emergency executive orders because they are no longer needed.
Polis says he is proud of how Colorado managed the past 15 months with one of the lowest fatality rates in the nation and widespread vaccination.
We didn't let ourselves be consumed by fear or overtaken by misinformation.
This comes as the COVID-19 Delta variant is surging, especially in Mesa County on the western slope. More than 600 people there have come down with the virus in the past 2 weeks, most of them with that Delta strain.
We're remaining vigilant against the dangerous variants, and we're managing the responsibility in partnership with local health, wearing masks where appropriate, and of course, respecting others and the decisions they make.
Summit confirms its first case of the Delta variant this week, one of 13 total virus cases in 2 weeks. More than a year after the pandemic shut down ski resorts, hotels, and restaurants, small businesses agree they are finally recovering. Summit Chamber has results from its 5th economic impact study showing local business revenue grew by $63 million April to June this year. The same time last year, revenue fell by more than $300 million. Meanwhile, town and county tax revenue hardly slowed down, led by the booming housing and vacation rental markets. That's the roar of Colorado National Speedway, where local 14-year-old Brody Moore spends his weekends racing, not watching.
It's tight, so you can't really be claustrophobic. It has a roll cage around it, and you practically are kind of strapped to a rocket ship with wheels.
Brody's been racing since he was 6 years old, starting with go-karts before winning the state Bandolero title in 2018 and 2019.
If I wasn't racing cars, I'd probably spend my time up here racing mountain bikes. I'd like the competition and just anything really.
This year, 2 years before he's even allowed to drive to the grocery store, Brody got the keys to a 600 horsepower race car.
Racing the super late model in Colorado National is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I mean, you have to be, there's no time to relax. You're on your toes the whole 40 laps or 150 laps here in some of the cases.
Now, he's the youngest driver on the late model and super late model circuits, racing in California and Colorado.
It's not really intimidating. I think it's more intimidating for my other competitors because I don't think they really want to get beat by a 14-year-old.
Brody already has a load of sponsors and hopes to be racing the NASCAR Cup Series in coming years. Check him out online at BrodyMooreRacing.com. The Stage 2 fire ban has been lifted, effective immediately for Summit and Eagle counties and public lands on the I-70 mountain corridor. Backyard fires with a permit, charcoal grills, and campfires in fire rings are now allowed. Fireworks and open fires in the backcountry are not. In sports, the Rockies open a weekend series with the Padres tonight at 8:10. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, Race 3 of the Summit Mountain Challenge Town Series is next Wednesday, July 14th for the Pennsylvania Gulch Grind. Get signed up through mavsports.com. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.